Hello everybody, I'm the Captain here and fall in for some Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords. So today's mission objectives is as follows. We will be talking to each and every single one of our group mates on the ship. This is after Dantooine, so we are going to be, as always, after every planet you probably want to talk to all of your teammates from that. So we'll just visit this here. As you can see, we've redeemed Kunda and we've done recruiting, the KS Hydro Spanner. As I mentioned in the last part, I actually had to go back and talk to Akir and get those thorium charges. We'll cut to that right about now.
Charanana Gundoso, Remina Kelrakto Katpada, Federator Padano, Ringatel Camarada Telefibu Nubu de Veterana Chenirara.
Would you be interested in joining the Kuna militia?
Manama Trade sobre Barakto Drun. Krishe mentru gre babano flank tour na saganich. Gravawe no ku se tabate bate. Trawinsto sopotuto neliep grimpatado. Trawinsto busuto neliep grampatada. Teleronda nana nintolo gradatira.
This isn't a permanent job. Very short term, but dangerous.
Terewana jun konata della raguno tunna. Dai rento ron kawre kare papanala ranshinga. Terache wemeno totore senisensen.
You can store your wares on my ship.
Der rinto runto wakare kwe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan korsada nane gra delonuta choloren. Terewana jun konata della raguno tunna. Dai rinto ron kawre kare papanala ranshinga. Terache wemeno totore senisensen. Der rinto runto wakare kwe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan korsada nane gra delonuta choloren. Terewana jun konata della raguno tunna. Dai rinto ron kawre kare papanala ranshinga. Terache wemeno totore senisensen.
I'll take them.
Der rinto runto wakare kwe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan korsada nane gra delonuta choloren. Der rinto runto wakare kwe wapa teratana chingaradana. Ferra rampada no de ringtada nel camera cella fibo no bodat. Dosane karamala blue incident mel rebe chinchin kranaktada.
Okay, so with that, let me just quickly show you the thorium charges that I've gotten. It should be under here, maybe? No? I think it should be here. There we go, the thorium charges. So what I made the mistake last time was actually asking him to join the Kuna militia, and no, not actually join the Kuna militia. I've actually talked to him by his Hydro Spanner, and from there we were able to get him to join the Kuna militia because of the Hydro Spanner, instead of us buying off the thorium charges, which was what we were looking for the entire time. At least I was looking for the entire time. So I had to replay that part. I had to show you all. Basically, I just redid the whole part. So this is a different save with the thorium charges as well. So let's just unpause here and let's get to the mission. Let's go talk to Vices since he's the closest.
My life for yours.
Okay, so we've done quite a bit of talking with her. So let's see if we got any more influence with her. So
I had questions for you.
I will answer what I can, but my answers may prove useless to you.
Was your master the one sent to Baragas?
I am not familiar with the place you speak of. My master has not entered Republic space for some time, but there are others who may move more freely, who may have been responsible for such an act of destruction.
What do you mean?
There are many factions within the Sith, all seeking to take what little remains in the wake of the Jedi Civil War. Where one moves, it is not always known to the others. But their purpose is the same. The death of all Jedi, everywhere. They believe you are the last of the Jedi, and their hatred of the Jedi unites them. All their eyes are upon you, and it is a terrible, quiet darkness that pursues you.
Forget it, I had some other questions for you.
I will answer what I can.
I'm gonna go through all of this and try and get some different dialogue. So if it turns out that I actually repeat the dialogue, I apologize. The only thing I remember is that we talked about Homeworld before already. So anyways, let's just move on.
Was your master behind the destruction of Paragus?
My master did not cause the end of the planet you speak of. There are many factions within the Sith, all seeking to take what little remains in the wake of the Jedi Civil War. Where one moves, it is not always known to the others. They
Okay.
believe...
I won't bore you with that, 'cause she's just repeating the same thing.
Forget it, I had some other questions for you.
I will answer what I can.
Alright.
I've heard your species is blind. How are you able to see?
My people once had the power to perceive events, to see through the Force. That sight may manifest itself in many ways, and at times, I may affect the abilities of others to see as well.
You sound as if that sight is lost to you.
My sight has been damaged. What I have taught you, it is not the full extent of the perceptions of my people.
Vices has a limited ability to see the Force. She has Force sight in first-person mode, and can also use it as a Force power by spending Force points.
My master, when he showed me my world, showed it to me as it is. It hurt. And since that moment, it has been difficult to perceive the Force as I once did. But after traveling with you, I feel that perhaps there was a gift in it, hidden beneath the pain.
Where one endures, it gives hope to others and themselves.
Only when one suffers do certain truths become evident, both of the galaxy and of the self. And I feel you are an example of this.
In many ways, there's a reason why there's that's why the community is a bit divided about this game. You know, half the community says it sucks, the other half of the community says it's actually better. I am on the side where it says that it is better, only because of lines like this, where one suffers do certain truths become evident, both of the galaxy and of the self. It's very true to real world perspective, and in many ways there's a lot of stuff that I take away from this game, especially now when I'm replaying this and having, you know, certain events happen to me. But right now it just really gives me that perspective that, hey, this game actually said something about that, and I can totally relate now, instead of just being intrigued as a younger self of mine was back in the day. So anyways,
How do you see through the Force?
If you wish to know, perhaps it is possible to show another what my people see, what I see. First, you must close your eyes. The surface of the ship, its sights, will only be a distraction. Now, in your mind, reach out. Listen for my breathing. Do not focus on the sound, but the life behind it. Imagine its energy, its texture, in tandem with the breathing. And then in your mind, step back from the image and see what remains. There. It is not as difficult as I thought. You learn quickly.
you have gained bonus Force points. There's the achievement for your eyes can deceive you. Anyways, you have gained bonus Force points and foresight. This allows you to perceive the alignment of others and see through some obstacles to the threats beyond. So basically, it's like oh no, I was gonna say it's basically like Eagle Vision, but in actuality, Eagle Vision took this from Star Wars. Okay.
It will take effort to maintain such sight, but you now have that power, and with it you can use it to see life around you in a different way, as I used to see it.
Forget it, I had some other questions for you.
I will answer what I can.
Okay, there's nothing else left, so I think we've hit all of the influence checks with vices, so we don't have to do anything to get her to like us much right now. I mean, we prefer to up the influence, but we need to focus on some of the other characters as well. So
Never mind, I'll be going now.
there we go. Maximum Force points increase and such. Now, I believe that I said before that for certain party members, I actually stopped leveling them up as a Jedi to a certain point. I've been reading through some guides and some old forums about it, and I found, well, pretty much it seems like except for Beodor, everybody else has some worth into turning them into a Jedi. Well, Beodor and the Disciple. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm not gonna turn Beodor into a Jedi, because he is better as a tech specialist, and you know, there's no point in giving him a lightsaber if you can't use his repulsor strike and such, I feel. So, I also won't turn the Disciple into a Jedi either, because I prefer him as a soldier, and him being more dexterous. You know, I just don't want to have. I just don't want to oversaturate the Jedi. I mean, we already got 1, 2, 3. Probably add 1 to 2 more. One being Atten, the other one might be Mirahan. So, but that depends on how it is. So, anyways, let's talk to Beldor, see if you got anything new for us.
Yes, General?
Never mind.
That's the thing about Beldor. Every time you have something to say to him, never mind. Turns out to be nothing, never mind. Anyways, we have a new party member, so let's talk to the disciple.
There is something I have observed, and now I feel I must say it. I have found your presence to be inspiring. With your growth in the Force, you seem to have found your center, and throughout the dangers we face, you remain calm and focused.
You're right. I've never felt better.
I understand now why others followed you to war. Perhaps that is what leadership is. And it is something I have seen in only a few during my travels. In any event, it has been some time since I traveled with a Jedi, nor one so firmly upon the path. I wanted to thank you. I fear the stories that were spoken of you have misrepresented you, and if I have the opportunity, I shall reverse them whenever they arise.
I thank you for your kind words, but they are not necessary.
Very well. Then I shall keep my favorable opinions to myself.
I had other questions.
That is hardly surprising. What do you wish to know?
Okay, so we'll go through as many of the checks as possible for the disciple, but again, as I mentioned, we won't turn him to a Jedi. So,
You look familiar to me.
I imagine in your travels of the galaxy you've seen many people. Faces tend to blur together after a time.
I had other questions.
That is hardly surprising. What do you wish to know?
okay, so we can go through some of the other lines here, and maybe we'll be able to get some influence. Get some more influence with him, so we can go with this. You look familiar to me line. So, but most of these are recycled from the conversation that we had with him back at the Jedi Enclave. But we'll see. So, we'll start with number 3 here. So,
What are you doing for the Republic?
Not much remains of the Jedi. I'm trying to find what little does remain. There are so many histories, relics, holocrons that speak of their teachings and their code. I fear that unless someone makes an effort to find and keep them, they will be lost forever.
Why do you feel that is necessary?
Because I fear that unless the Jedi teachings are preserved, we will lose the galaxy. And because, whatever my feelings for the Order, they do not extend to preserving their knowledge.
You have a problem with the Jedi?
No, not their lore, their histories, but their masters, their teachers, perhaps. I have tried to keep an open mind about their practices, but I have seen the Republic scarred too many times by their students.
Foolishness. This seems like dark-sided to me in type side. So.
The Republic has also been saved countless times by these same Jedi, often through acts of sacrifice.
That is a truth I cannot deny. It is sometimes difficult to see that side as I walked upon Dantooine. But I will consider what you have said. There is another side to their efforts and their teaching that I sometimes forget.
But why do finding the Jedi matter to you?
I'm trying to save the Republic. Dantooine and the Jedi Order are instrumental to that effort. Despite the troubles of the Jedi Civil War, there are those among the Republic who still favor the Jedi and wish them to return. And there are admirals within the fleet who recognize that the Jedi must be found if the Republic is to hold together. Yet as long as Onderon remains within the Republic, and the efforts on Telos succeed, that is all that matters.
Why Telos and Onderon?
The Republic is fragile right now. Telos is important because its success will determine whether or not the other dead worlds receive the same reconstruction efforts. If Telos is rebuilt and made habitable again, it will affect a string of worlds along the rim.
And Onderon?
Onderon, strangely enough, was unaffected by the Jedi Civil War. It's almost as if Revan didn't want to attack it. Its resources and position on the rim make it a vital supply line and guard post against outer rim attacks. Also, it's the only world in the Republic still capable of seeding ecosystems into other dead worlds. Onderon's wildlife is some of the most aggressive in the known galaxy. Merely placing some of those beasts on target worlds will guarantee their habitation for years to come.
Why is the Jedi Order important?
The Jedi are a symbol. As much damage as their reputation took during the Sith War and the Jedi Civil War, there are still many who they serve as an example. Plus, there have been times in the past where a single Jedi has been enough to change the face of a world, or a galaxy. I suppose I still believe that might be possible. Despite the betrayal of many of the Jedi against the Republic, I must concede that as figureheads, they do serve a vital role.
Why is Dantooine important?
Dantooine was one of the few Republic worlds on the Outer Rim. It is why the Republic is attempting to get the settlement up and running. But now that you have protected the settlement on Dantooine, it will serve to stabilize the Republic presence on the Rim.
How did this happen?
The Jedi Civil War brought much suffering to the galaxy, and the forces that Malak and Revan amassed against us seemed limitless. Many worlds were destroyed, trade routes disrupted, and the Republic fleet was almost decimated. While it is said that Revan and several Republic heroes and Jedi defeated Malak, in many ways Malak had already won.
What do you mean?
The war was costly, and it shattered the Republic. In time, the Republic might recover, but if a threat strikes now, if certain key worlds are not held, then the Republic will collapse.
I think we've gone through this line with all the worlds talking, so...
Then we must do what we can to defend the Republic.
That is my thought. The Republic is not without its flaws, but it is preferable to anarchy. Without supply lines and a standing military, the chaos that would result would be greater than the Mandalorian Wars.
What would need to be done to save the Republic?
There are many factors. Aside from protecting Telos and Onderon, we need a rallying force. We need the Jedi, even if they are just figureheads. That is why I traveled to Dantooine, to find some trace of them.
I had other questions.
That is hardly surprising. What do you wish to know?
So those are all the lines that we can get from this, what are you doing for the Republic, so...
Tell me about the Republic.
I do not know if you are aware of how fragile the Republic is at the moment. Its influence is stretched thin, and it grows weaker with time. Still, there is hope, and I must remind myself of it, even when times grow dark. As long as we hold Onderon and Telos, then perhaps we have a chance.
Okay, so it goes back to that same line, so...
I had other questions.
That is hardly surprising. What do you wish to know?
Do you know what happened to the Jedi?
No. It is something of a mystery why they would exile themselves as they have. It is not the way of the Jedi to vanish in such a way, especially when the Republic is in need of them. I fear that there is something else at work. Something that we cannot see. Then again, perhaps the Jedi are hiding simply because so many people hate them these days.
Why do you think people hate the Jedi?
It is difficult sometimes for the Jedi to see such things, since much of it is rooted in human nature, and the Jedi are often removed from events of daily life, insulated. But the reason the Jedi Civil War was named such was because few in the galaxy can recognize the difference between the Sith and the Jedi. To them, they are both Jedi, with different philosophies.
The Jedi have protected the galaxy for centuries. They seek peace, often through sacrifice.
Not always. Jedi often fall. They cause much harm on Onderon, for example, in the name of peace and protection. Uleg Qel-Droma and Exar Kun, the two Dark Lords during the Sith War many decades ago, were once Jedi Knights, as were Revan and Malak. It is perhaps more amazing that some still trust Jedi after many have fallen and endangered the galaxy. It is also proof that a single Force wielder can change the face of the galaxy. And that is a frightening thing indeed.
Well, they changed that in the Old Republic, so it's not a single Force user can change the face of the galaxy. It's now all Force users and all non-Force users now. You get what I mean if you play the Old Republic.
Do you hate the Jedi?
Hate? I do not hate them. They only raise questions without answers. Jedi are not supposed to be like the rest of us. They are supposed to see a higher purpose in all things, and they are supposed to train students responsibly and well so mistakes of the past are not repeated. Yet all I saw was ignorance and arrogance, and what those seeds created in the Republic. It is difficult to follow the Jedi Code when so few others have, but you know this.
What do you mean?
The problems with the Jedi are my own. I do not wish to burden you with my troubles.
Okay, so there's another influence check right there, so...
I had other questions.
That is hardly surprising. What do you wish to know?
Alright, we will do 2 more lines here. What do you know about force bonding, and you look for music. Let's try.
What do you know about force bonding?
A force bond? What do you mean?
I have a connection with another that could be lethal to us both.
I'm not sure I understand.
I have a bond with another that transmits pains across distances. If she suffers, I suffer. If she dies, there's a chance I'll die too. You were thinking of something. Tell me.
No. I thought I had heard mention of such connections in some of the holocrons, but I do not possess them. They are part of the holocrons that were taken from the Enclave.
Where would the holocrons be?
I do not know. I do not know who has taken them. If we were to find them, perhaps I could help you find the answers you need.
Rook. Oh well.
What do you remember about the bonds?
I know some of what you speak. It is said that when a Jedi and Padawan establish a close connection, that they can feel each other across distances and coordinate their movements in battle. The intensity of the connection varies. That bonding is said to also be something that manifests itself in such techniques as Bastila's battle meditation, the ability to touch the minds of others, to demoralize or inspire them. It is also said that moments of death or near death may also cause such bonds. The stronger one is in the Force, the stronger the connection.
Is such a bond ever lethal?
I've never heard of a bond being lethal. I suppose such a thing is possible. I had not truly believed Bastila's battle meditation until I had seen it in action.
You said feel each other across distances. What about each other's thoughts?
Thoughts. Images, perhaps, but not actual communication and words. A bond often causes a sensation to be passed along it, such as extreme fear and pain. Still, I have seen Jedi who have the ability to communicate with aliens and beasts. It is a rare thing. Perhaps telepathy is one such talent.
I had other questions.
That is hardly surprising. What do you wish to know?
Looks like this is a sit down with disciple. We'll try to move on to other people. One more question.
You look familiar to me.
You are correct. I am afraid I have not been entirely open with you concerning my past. If I look familiar, it is because we have met before, at the Enclave on Dantooine, many years ago. As on Coruscant, Force-sensitive children are taken to Dantooine as well, though it is done rarely and only with those they believe are destined to become Jedi Knights. It is the secret nature of the place. If you are not chosen by a master when you have come of age, however, then the path of the Jedi is denied to you. I met you on Dantooine, long ago, briefly. You taught us the ways of combat, how to hear music within the movements of a lightsaber blade. It is difficult to explain the difference between you and Master Vrook, but I think it is because he was knowledgeable, but not a leader, not a mentor. You were different. We could all feel it. And I knew that if I were to have a master, I would want it to be you. And then you went to war. Many Jedi went to war, and the Jedi Masters proclaimed that you were Jedi no longer. Atris, the mistress of the Archives, was first among them. I knew at that moment that if you would no longer be a Jedi, then you must be correct. I realized I did not want to be a Jedi. Instead, I wished to follow your path. And in any event, there was no one to train me, even if I wished it. They all went to war, as I grew past the age of acceptance.
Huh, okay.
So you turned away from the Jedi, the Force, because of me?
It is possible to forget the Force, you know. If you have not felt it strongly enough, then there is little to miss. but I never felt the Force as strongly as I did when I was with you. And so I decided to serve the Republic, study the Jedi teachings, gather them perhaps. It was important to me to understand the Jedi now that they were gone. I felt some part of you should be preserved, so that your lessons would not be lost.
I'm sorry that my leaving for war had such consequences on your future.
Perhaps. I still harbor doubts about the path I walked.
That was odd. Okay.
If you were once a Jedi, what are you doing for Republic then?
I am on a diplomatic mission. I am one of several tasked with attempting to contact any remaining Jedi and convince them to return to the Republic.
Have you had any luck?
I do not think it is a matter of luck or chance. Only my own inability to find them. While the Enclave trained me for many things, I am afraid that the life of a bounty hunter was not among them. I suspect my turning away from the Force is also a hindrance in such cases. I imagine the Jedi would be easier to find if I still maintained my connections to the Force.
I have found one of the lost Jedi.
You were there.
You have? Where have they gone? And why?
You were there!
They seem to have scattered over the past few years across various planets. It's as if they went into exile.
Like you? Curious. It is unlike the Jedi to vanish when the Republic is in need of them, and the Republic is more in need of them now than ever.
I think they've gone in search of what made the rest of the lost Jedi vanish.
What was that? Do you know?
I think they are being hunted. And they are hunting me as well.
Perhaps the Sith have learned from Malak's defeat and have chosen a different tactic. It is like them to strike from the shadows. This has Revan's mark in things.
But I thought Revan had redeemed himself by defeating Malak.
Yes, but there is much of Revan's legacy that was not undone in the Jedi Civil War. I suspect these assassins are one of them. Master Vandar spoke of these assassins in the council chambers. They were used before large assaults on planets and Jedi to weaken them.
Okay. I don't know why he ejected me from the talk, but there's still more lines, so we'll talk to Disciple again, as long as you stop glitching out. Stop glitching. Okay.
Yes? Is something wrong?
What are you doing?
At times, I meditate, simply close my eyes and listen. It is quite calming. I try to treasure these moments before the next crisis begins.
Can you teach me to meditate?
Of course. It would be my pleasure.
You recover force points and a one-time bonus to your force points through meditation. You can meditate with the Disciple at any time if no enemies are nearby.
I try to treasure these moments before the next crisis begins.
I have other questions.
That is hardly surprising. What do you wish to know?
I'm not gonna go with the I could train you to feel the force again, because that will turn him into a Jedi. So, let's try this line again. So,
What are your problems with the Jedi?
The problems with the Jedi are my own. I do not wish to burden you with my troubles.
Nothing, never mind.
Forgive me, but there is something I must ask. In my study of the Jedi histories and the more contemporary records, I have heard tales of a Jedi who was exiled. You are that Jedi, but the records are somewhat evasive on why this was done. I wanted to discuss why you chose to leave the Jedi Order and accept exile.
And why do you want to discuss it?
Perspective. Nothing more.
I left to protect the innocents on the Outer Rim.
I see. And because you went to war, they cast you out?
At first I thought that was the sole reason. Now I'm not so sure.
Do you have a record of this trial?
we can give him one, so we can give him the record of the trial. So
T3 and 4 has a copy of it.
Perhaps I shall examine it when I get the chance. With your permission.
I trust you. Go ahead.
I appreciate your trust. Thank you.
Very well, I'll be going up.
alright, so we'll come back later and try that line again. So let's give a chat to Anne. I'm gonna skip T. Never mind. Let's just talk to him right now since he's here. There's not much with T3 other than the fact that I want to repair him, but we already got the class skill in computer, and we've got repair unlocked as a class skill, but they're not high enough for me to repair him, so I'm just gonna wait a while. So
Never mind, I'll be going now.
wait a while until I actually upgrade those as high as I can. So let's talk to Anne.
You know, I noticed a glow before, but now it's bright around you. You've come a long way since Paragus, and despite all we've been through, you seem a lot better for it.
It's hard to explain, but even with everything that's happening, I feel at peace.
It shows. It's kind of inspiring, to be honest. Anyway, just wanted to mention it. I think the others have noticed it too.
I had some questions for you.
Alright, what did you want to know?
Nothing, never mind.
I think we can only unlock more dialogue once we hit Nar Shaddaa, so which is the next place that we're gonna head over to. So for now, the next worthy person to talk to is Kreia. So let's just get that over with.
Yes? Have you come with questions?
I always come with questions. So first, let's check with the crystal.
Can you tell me about the Kurosala crystal?
That crystal is bonded to you. Through you, it acquires its character and strength, and through it, your power is enhanced. Let me focus on the crystal for a moment. There, now it is fully in tune with you again. Is there something else you wished?
Awesome. So that seems like the third upgrade to the Kurosala crystal. I believe there are 9 upgrades, so that's why I want to get this early as possible. So let's see if we got any more influence with her. So I think we haven't been able to get this. So
Do you know anything about the Sith who pursues us?
I know of them, yes, and how much like beasts they had become. Combined, united against the Jedi, they command legions of Sith. But above these legions there are 3 who must be stopped. As long as any one of them lives, then we, and all life, are doomed. One bathes in pain, feeds on it for sustenance. The other has ceased being a living being, so consumed by hunger that he has forgotten his own flesh. And the last is a creature of betrayals, for without such things there is no hope.
The one who bathes in pain, Sire.
Yes, of pain he has learned much. Of knowledge, of teaching, he knows nothing. Like the others, he was spawned by the horrors of the Mandalorian Wars. He exists solely to spread his pain to all Jedi everywhere.
Is the one consumed by hunger Vices' master? I would know more of him.
He, if he can truly be called a man any longer, is one of the Dark Lords that pursues you. I do not think he knows what you are. Not yet. He spared the Miraluka, and that may have been the last shred of feeling that exists within him. Keep his slave close to you. I suspect there was a reason he spared her, and perhaps a reason that she survived when the rest of her people and the Jedi did not.
Vices is not his slave. Not any longer.
Entertain what illusions you will. I am too tired to argue them with you.
He's no longer a man?
One cannot have power of that magnitude that her master possesses and still think and perceive the universe as we do, as most of us do. I had hoped that you would not have to confront him, but her presence here has changed all that. You will have to meet him in battle. You must be prepared to sacrifice the blinded one. Perhaps her death will buy you the time you need to deal with her master.
Team victory, I think so.
If there is what must be done for victory, then I will do so.
Then you have a chance. Without her death, I do not know if he can be stopped.
How did he destroy your homeworld?
It is a technique that is almost as old as the Sith themselves. It is a means of severing connections between life, the Force, and feeding upon the death it causes. It cannot be taught. It can only be gained through instinct, through experiencing its effects firsthand.
And he used it to kill an entire planet?
Yes, and he fed upon its destruction. It will sustain him for a time.
How can anyone have that kind of power?
Power? Do you think so? You would be wrong. There is no strength in the hunger he possesses, and the will behind his power is a primal thing. And it devours him as he devours others. His mere presence kills all around him, slowly feeding him. He is already dead. It is simply a question of how many he kills before he falls.
That kind of power is impossible.
Nothing is impossible with the Force. It is an energy that flows through all living things. And like energy, it may be harnessed, channeled, and consumed at times. It may even be a substance that can burn and ignite. Do not think of his power as one would a weapon, or one of your warships of the Republic. It is terrible, but it is still a subtle thing. The sect of assassins that chase you feed on the Force. What he does is simply the pinnacle of what they could achieve in time. And that is why they and their techniques must be wiped out. No one again must experience and learn what her master did.
How are they able to drain the Force?
As much as one may use the Force to bolster the wills and strengths of others, the reverse is possible, though not often used. Instead of sending one's will through connections in the Force, instead such connections are drawn upon, fed upon, and drained completely.
But all life is touched by the Force.
Then you understand how terrible such a power is, and why it must be ended. It is an empty road to the dark side, and by traveling it, the price is death before one's time. He is a breach in the Force, capable of consuming the lives of those around him. Sometimes the touch is slow, as it is with his crew.
How does he use his power?
It is not something he can direct or focus, much like hunger itself. He is more of a hole in the Force than a living thing. Force sensitives and worlds rich in the Force draw him. The Miraluka world was one such place. That is why where the Jedi gather, Jedi will die. He will feel it, unless they mask their presence. But Qatar called out as a beacon to him, and he could not resist it. And he cares nothing for the Sith, or its teachings, or the Jedi. And when the Jedi are dead, he will feed on the galaxy, the Republic, and eventually consume the Sith as well. There is no future in the empty galaxy he sees, and that is why he must be stopped. The breach must be sealed before his power grows beyond what even we can hope to stop.
Do you have any idea why he spared her?
Perhaps he is bound to her, as I am bound to you. If so, there may be a death served by hers. You must be prepared to sacrifice the blinded one. Perhaps her death will buy you the time you need to deal with her master.
Okay. So, in a way, this seems a bit, looking at it retroactively, it seems like Emperor Vitiate also had the same plans. He wanted to, he wanted to consume the galaxy, so that he can focus. He wanted to consume the galaxy to sate his hunger. Perhaps in a way, Emperor Vitiate was something like Nihilus, or maybe Nihilus. I don't know who came first, whether it's Vitiate or Nihilus, but the idea seems to be similar in that regard. So,
I had other questions.
Ask, and I will answer.
I think that's all. I will keep this for the next time. So,
Never mind, I'll be going up.
more dark side points. Those games. We're gonna get back our light side points and then try and talk to her again. So, okay. So we've gone over the 30-minute mark. So I know I'm sorry to keep you back the way that I did, but there's a lot of talking that we need to do, and I wanted to get this all out in one episode so that this doesn't carry over into the next part and it's combined with planet side stuff. Because when you touch down on a planet for the first time, there's still more talking. So. Anyways, I'll end this part right here. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy that. If you did, please like this video and share with your friends if they like all this Star Wars goodness and all the Old Republic stuff. At the same time too, do join the army and subscribe to me, as well as follow me on Twitter @IsaaCaptain, where you can keep up to date with all the things that I do, including the stuff that I do with my friends over at Crossbow Vanguards, where we do all sorts of Car Fight Vanguard related stuff. There will be links in the description below, as well as the links in the top right for all the links to playlists and channels that I've mentioned. With that said, thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Dismiss!